Happy holidays and welcome back to NeuroSciQ. With the holidays slowly sneaking up on us, we decided that this week we'd do a holiday themed episode. And so today we're going to look into what it is about gift giving that makes us happy. Why it is that giving gifts can make us just as happy as we feel when we receive gifts, and if the act of gift giving can benefit us. So stay tuned, let's run the intro. Again, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's discussion on the science behind the Christmas spirit. You've probably seen the joy on kids' faces when they open a gift and they're really happy, their eyes light up, they smile, all that good stuff. And you've probably seen the reaction on their face when they open a gift they don't really like. Kids aren't really good at hiding disappointment if they get a gift they don't like, but they will definitely exaggerate the joy when they get something they wanted. In fact, studies have shown that it isn't until a child is between the ages of 8 and 11 that they develop the ability to demonstrate proper display rules when receiving a gift. In a study that compared 8-year-olds to 11-year-olds, 8-year-olds would react in a manner that directly demonstrated how they were feeling about the gift. So if they were happy, they looked happy. If they were upset about it, they looked upset. And 11-year-olds were able to kind of cover that up and act in a more appropriate manner. Now, they think that this is because as we get older, we develop empathy and something called the theory of mind, which is when you're able to understand another person's perspective. So with that, knowing that the person giving you the gift put time and effort into it, you're going to act in a grateful way because you're grateful for the time and effort, not just the gift. In another study that looked at undergraduate students, they were asked whether they'd rather spend money on themselves, and that would make them happier, or if they thought spending money on somebody else would make them happier. And these undergraduates tended to vote heavily in favor of spending money on themselves. Now, surprisingly, this isn't true. Studies have shown that if you spend money on yourself, you're going to tend to feel worse afterwards than if you spend money on somebody else. But why is it that we feel rewarded when we spend money on someone else? What kind of benefit do we get from sacrificing economic resources, social resources, or even cultural resources when we give somebody something without expecting anything in return? That's the thing right there. While we might not actually expect anything in return, giving a gift to somebody is a prosocial action. Being social is beneficial in an evolutionary aspect. We've evolved as social beings. Living in social communities, being around other people, that benefits us directly. If you go way back, being with someone else and sharing resources with that person greatly increase the chances of survival. So in a way, the nervous system has sort of evolved to reward us for acts of kindness. So when we give something to someone else, we feel good. And in fact, we benefit by shaping our identity as a caring, social, helpful, kind person. But why is it that making someone else happy would make us feel happy? What exactly is happening to facilitate this reaction? Well, first of all, emotions are contagious. This is a fact. It's been shown scientifically that when we see somebody that's happy, we'll feel happy. When we see somebody that's sad, we'll feel sad. And in fact, a study that was done on individuals who observed videos of people expressing gratitude and happiness showed that the zygomaticus major, which is the muscle in the cheek that draws our lips upwards into a smile, was electrically activated when those individuals were observing other people smile. So watching people smile, whether you like it or not, is going to activate that muscle and make you want to smile as well. Now, emotionally, what does this mean? Studies have also shown that when you smile, you feel happy. So when you force yourself to smile, or if you perhaps just smile out of contagion, you are more likely to feel more happy. This has been dubbed the James Lange theory of emotion. They did early studies where people would bite on a pencil, which forced them to smile, and those people actually reported feeling happier. So what the James Lang theory of emotion states is that facial responses are what cause us to feel a certain way. So while we might be contagiously smiling because somebody else is smiling, we actually are mirroring their brain response as well. When somebody else smiles, our brain lights up in the same areas as theirs would. To support this notion, some studies have used functional magnetic resonance imaging. And in doing so, scientists were able to show that when people look at images of happy people and when people smile themselves, these same areas of the brain light up, suggesting that looking at somebody who's happy is going to activate the same neural networks that actually being happy will activate. Now, this whole notion of mirrored brain activity within the brains of the giver and the receiver of a gift goes back to these cells within the brain called mirror neurons. Now, these cells were first found in macaque monkeys, and they were shown to be activated when a macaque monkey performed an action and when it watched another monkey perform the same action. These neurons are found in the premotor cortex, and to further support the fact that they play a role in empathy, studies that used transmagnetic stimulation to inhibit the premotor cortex showed that people experiencing this inhibition had difficulties identifying the emotion displayed in pictures. So for instance, when they inhibited the premotor cortex, people who looked at somebody who was happy took longer to identify that they were in fact happy. So overall, what's happening in the brain within mirror neurons is that when we look at somebody who is happy, those mirror neurons are activated, and these recruit the same neural networks that would be activated when we are happy. In fact, fMRI studies have shown that regions including the insula, hypothalamus, nuclei of the amygdala, and the paraaqueductal gray are recruited when we look at images of happy people. Now, all these areas are important for feeling happy and in reward. In fact, these areas are positive for intracranial self-stimulation, meaning that if electrodes are implanted in those areas of the brain, rats will self-stimulate because it makes them feel good. If you want to know more about that, you can go back to our video on social media addiction, and we talk more about the theory behind intracranial self-stimulation. But for this video, all you need to know is that those regions of their brain are important for reward, and when they're activated, that makes us feel good. So overall, through giving someone else a gift and making someone else happy, that reflects back on us and will actually activate the same neural networks in our brain, allowing us to share the experience with them. Now, this can be explained by a different theory of emotion, and that's the theory developed by Cannon and Bard. This theory actually suggests that emotion is a more central neural process. And it suggests that our brain will activate the behavioral emotional response, so our action like smiling or laughing, at the same time as our cortex is appraising what the emotion is. So we get this behavioral output simultaneously with our appraisal. So basically it's saying that we feel happy at the same time as we act happy. So what does this all mean? At the end of the day, as you can see, the spirit of giving to other people actually gives back to yourself. Because when we benefit someone else, their experience is reflected directly on us. So making people happy and spreading happiness and joy is going to bring happiness and joy into your life. So I hope you keep that in mind this holiday season, and thanks for watching today's video. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Remember to turn on notifications if you want to get notified every time we post a new video. Like this video, comment on the video, and subscribe so we can have your support to keep this channel going. Thanks for watching.